Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And today, since the summer is warming up and the weather is getting better, we're going to talk about something you can do, well, something you should only do at the beach or in an area with a lot of sand. We're not talking about building sand castles or surfing or anything like that. We're talking about beach volleyball, summer's sandy sport. And the good news is that we have a volleyball queen with us here in our very own studio to lead us all through this because you played volleyball in high school?
Yep.
And in university?
Well, I actually started way before that.
Way before that.
So I started playing when I was like 10 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and I played volleyball all through high school.
Wow.
And then I did get invited to play at a college, but it wasn't the college that I wanted to go to.
Okay.
Because in America, I count as very short for volleyball.
Oh, that's true. Volleyball players are tall.
Yes,
right.
Especially in America,
Yeah.
they're pretty tall. So
Okay.
I didn't go to college for it, but I still played in the rec leagues and things like that. But I did play a whole bunch of beach volleyball.
Okay.
Because that is super fun and a really fun thing to do in the summer.
It is, yeah. In Vancouver, where I sometimes go in the summer, they have huge areas of the beaches that are just taken over with volleyball courts on the beach, on the sand. And on weekends, every single one of them is filled with players. It seems to be something people love to do, even when it's kind of cool and windy out there on the beach. People are still playing beach volleyball, but it's a very new sport, which I think we're going to learn about. It's only been in the Olympics for 20 years, 30 years, something like that, and it really wasn't around much before that. So let's find out more about beach volleyball, summer's sandy sport.
From humble beginnings on the shores of Hawaii, beach volleyball has become a global phenomenon, bringing people from around the world together for fun, competition, and vitamin C. But just how did it become so popular? In 1915, 20 years after volleyball was invented, George David Center decided to move the game to Hawaii's famous Waikiki Beach. This new version of the sport quickly caught on and spread to the sunny beaches of Santa Monica, California.
All right, so yes, beach volleyball, summer's sandy sport. A lot of you probably know volleyball from playing it at school, in gym class or something. That, of course, is played indoors in a gym. There are, six people on each team. Volleyball, of course, is played outside, generally on a beach or an area with lots of sand. And it's only 2 people on each team, so it's quite a challenging game. Let's find out all about beach volleyball.
Yes, and so it says, from humble beginnings on the shores of Hawaii, beach volleyball has become a global phenomenon, bringing people from around the world together for fun, competition, and vitamin C. But just how did it become so popular? Well, did you see the quotes on vitamin C?
I saw the quotes on vitamin C and I read what it said there, vitamin C. Yeah, absolutely. That's pretty interesting. We'll get to that in a second. But it is definitely a phenomenon. Something that is a phenomenon is something that's pretty amazing. It's pretty incredible. We often use this. It could be about like a natural or scientific phenomenon, like when you see lightning in the shape of a ball. Ball lightning is very unusual. That's a strange but a natural phenomenon. We can also talk about sort of social changes. So, and suddenly, remember a few years ago, everyone was playing the Pokemon Go game, right? And people were running around in huge crowds. You could have said that was a bit of a phenomenon. You were doing it. That was a bit of a phenomenon. Suddenly, no one was doing it. Then everyone was doing it. Then a few months later, no one was doing it again. Now just a few people are doing it. So it was this kind of crazy trend or fad or new fashion or something like that. But it's one of those things that's hard to explain. It's unusual. It's going to definitely attract your attention and people go, what is that all about? That is a phenomenon. Notice this is the singular form. When we want to say the plural, you don't put an S on it. It's not phenomenons. It's phenomena. So that O-N at the end are replaced with the letter A. Many phenomena, one phenomenon. The movie was a phenomenon. Everyone went to see it.
And then we also had this word competition. So it has become a huge competition. As you have seen, beach volleyball is now obviously in the Olympics, so it's a big competition. And a competition is just a giant sport that you need to kind of fight against each other to see who is going to win. So if there are a lot of different teams or individuals who are playing against each other, then you are competing. And whoever wins each round, you will go up and up and up and up and move to the top of the competition to see who could become the champion. Obviously, you can have competitions in anything. You could have a math competition, a chess competition, you could have a singing competition, and as in our article, you could have a beach volleyball competition. So also in our example sentence, it says there is a sense of competition between us because we both think we're the smartest in the class. So in this way, we both think we're the smartest, so we're kind of competing or fighting against each other to see who is going to actually be the smartest.
Interesting. All right, so let's go way back in time to 1915. This is a date much earlier than I would have expected. It says in 1915, just as World War I was beginning, 20 years after volleyball was invented, volleyball was invented in 1895, but then 20 years later, in 1915, 20 years after volleyball was invented, George David Center, good name, decided to move the game to Hawaii's famous Waikiki Beach. Maybe he was tired of being stuck in the gym. Maybe he just wanted to go to Hawaii, because going to Hawaii in 1915 would have been kind of unusual. You'd have to take a boat to get there. Anyways, of course, Hawaii is beautiful for having lovely beaches, and he thought, hey, volleyball on a beach in Hawaii? That's a good idea. This new version of the sport quickly caught on and spread to the sunny beaches of Santa Monica, California. People realized, I don't have to go to Hawaii to find a beach. They have beaches in California. We can just do it there. And of course, Santa Monica is also where surfing became popular. Skateboarding kind of was invented around that area too. So beach sports, beach activities were always popular. Hey, why not play volleyball on the beach? It's sure a lot easier than playing ice hockey on a beach. We'll take a break and then we'll be back.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这2天的课程是要介绍沙滩排球，这是在全球都受欢迎的运动。那课文提到说，这项运动让来自世界各地的人为了乐趣、为了竞争、为了海洋维他命齐聚一堂。那这个海洋维他命 Vitamin C 跟 Vitamin C 维他命 C 是同音。课文就是要表达说，沙滩排球是海边运动，而且就像维他命一样对身体有益的意思。好，单字 phenomenon 它是表示现象或者是受欢迎的事物，令人佩服的人。那么 Mike 老师在解释时，他有用到 fad F-A-D fad， 它是指一时的风尚或是狂热。老师还有用到 incredible I-N-C-R-E-D-I-B-L-E incredible 是形容极好的，令人难以置信的或是惊人的。下一个单字 competition 它表示竞争、比赛或是竞赛。好，那我们就来看看沙滩排球是如何变得这么受欢迎的。排球是在1895年发明，那么20年后，也就是1915年 ，George David Center 决定把这项运动移到夏威夷著名的 Waikiki 海滩。那这个新版运动形式迅速的风行起来。接着呢，又传到了加州阳光普照的 Santa Monica 海滩。好，那这边有2个重点，我们要进入文法时间。我们来看第一个重点是分词构句的用法。对等连接词 and 在连接主词相同的2个子句时，我们可以省略其中一个主词和连接词，然后把这个动词改成分词，主动就用现在分词。那么被动呢，我们是先把 be 动词改成 being， 然后再进一步省略，只留下过去分词。举例来说 ，The bridge was built in the 17th century And the bridge is a famous landmark in the city. 那座桥建于17世纪，是城市里知名地标。那前后子句主词相同，都是 the bridge。我们可以首先省略了连接词 and， 然后省略前半句的主词。那它这边的动词部分 was built 是被动嘛，我们把 be 动词改成 being， 然后可以再进一步省略 being， 所以就只剩下过去分词 built， 句子就变成 built in the 17th century。The bridge is a famous landmark in the city. 好，第二个重点是 catch on， 它可以表达风行起来，变得受欢迎。它是不及物片语动词。当这个意思解释时，要以事物来当主词哦。举例来说 ，The trend is starting to catch on in Asia. 这股潮流开始在亚洲风行起来了。好，接回到课文中。
There, beach volleyball clubs sprang up, and formal tournaments began to take place, attracting competitors and fans from far and wide. Before long, the sun-soaked sport was being played on beaches from Brazil to Bali, and in 1996, it became an official Olympic event. Beach volleyball's growth was partly due to its accessibility. Unlike most sports, it requires no expensive equipment. Just grab a ball and a net, find a beach, and you're good to go. But there's more to its appeal than just convenience. It's also a great sport to watch, thanks to the often beautiful surroundings it takes place in, as well as the impressive skills of the athletes.
Okay, so we just saw that beach volleyball was invented 20 years later than actual volleyball, and it was invented by George David Center. So he started it in Hawaii because why not? That's awesome. Sure. But Santa Monica also started to pick it up and say, hey, we've got beaches too, and we can play volleyball here too.
Yeah.
So it says there, meaning Santa Monica, California, there, beach volleyball clubs sprang up and formal tournaments began to take place, attracting competitors and fans from far and wide. Before long, the sun-soaked sport was being played on beaches from Brazil to Bali, and in 1996, it became an official Olympic event.
All right, so there you go. 1996, it became an official event. I think it might have been in the Olympics before, unofficially, where you get a medal, but they don't count the medals and things like that. Yeah, but since 1996, you can get a gold, silver, bronze. They have men's teams, they have ladies' teams. It's a very, very popular sport. Beach volleyball's growth was partly due to its accessibility, right? Having a sport is great, but making that sport popular with many people is always a bit of a challenge, but beach volleyball has an advantage. It's accessibility. It's an easy sport to play, to get into. Unlike most sports, it requires no expensive equipment. That's the same reason soccer or football is very popular. Very cheap and easy to get into. Just grab a ball and a net, find a beach, and you're good to go. But there's more to its appeal than just convenience. There's more to its appeal, more to the fact that lots of people like it or it's popular than just the fact that it's convenient and easy to play.
Yes, and so we have this word convenience. Convenience is the noun form of convenient. And so if something is convenient, it is easy to do, easy to access, easy to get to, any of these types of things. For example, you have many convenience stores in Taiwan, 7-Eleven, Family Mart, all these ones, and we call them this because they are convenient. You go there, they're everywhere, they're easy to get to, they have everything that you need, food, drinks, whatever you might need, and they're relatively inexpensive. And so if something is convenient or it has a lot of convenience, then it is something that is easy to access, easy to use, any of those types of things. So our example sentence says, I love the convenience of living near a big train station. So if you live close to the big train station, there are lots of things that make this very convenient. For example, trying to travel around is very easy. there's probably lots of shops and things like that. And so that's why they say it is convenient.
There you go. If you like to travel, that would be easy. You don't have to take a long taxi ride to get to the train station. You just walk across the street or something super convenient. It's also, we're talking about beach volleyball, it's also a great sport to watch thanks to the often beautiful surroundings it takes place in, as well as the impressive skills of the athletes. Yes, with 2 players on each team, it's kind of a much faster game, right? People are often diving a lot more. It can be a lot more exciting for people who want to see quick action. And yeah, it's a lot more attractive because of its surroundings. We're not just looking at a wooden floor in a gym with some people sitting on the sides. There's a beach, there's palm trees, there's beautiful weather, that kind of thing. So your surroundings is basically your environment, or what is around you at that time where you are. As Shelley walked through the mountains, she took a moment to appreciate her surroundings. She stopped and looked around and went,
Yes.
That's what she did.
Well, that was a good thing to do if you have beautiful surroundings.
Exactly.
And then we also had the word athlete. Again, this talks about if you're going to a beach volleyball competition, you have lovely surroundings, and you also have really competitive athletes because, as we'll see later about when we get more into the rules, there are only 2 people on each side playing, and it is a quick game. So an athlete is somebody who plays a sport. You can also call sports as like athletic clubs. Sometimes you hear that term, and that just means that this is a sport, and the athlete is a person who is competing or playing in that sport. You can also use it as an adjective to describe yourself, whether you're good at sports or not. You might say, I'm very athletic, or I'm not that athletic, so I don't really like sports. So there are a couple different ways that you can use it. Here we're just talking about the actual people who are playing the sport, and it says the athletes all shook hands before the race began. So before they competed, they all shook hands, which is something most sports do, I think.
Yeah, generally. I would also think athletes are probably playing sports at a pretty high level. Maybe not as a job, but they're definitely in shape. Doing sports, playing this game is a big part of their life. It's not just some friends, running around playing basketball once a week. It's people who might be on a team and that kind of thing. So there you go. All right, we will be back. Spiking and diving and serving and setting and what's another word? What's that one where is that setting?
That's setting. Yep,
what's this one then? Bumping.
Or
We're going to be bumping tomorrow. Ooh, I'm excited to bump. Let's come back and bump together tomorrow, everyone, and get sand in all sorts of parts of our bodies. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
刚刚说沙滩排球从夏威夷的 Waikiki 海滩传到加州的 Santa Monica 海滩，那在那里沙滩排球俱乐部如雨后春笋般的涌现了，然后开始有了正式的锦标赛，吸引了来自四面八方的参赛者和球迷。那不久后呢，从巴西到巴厘岛的海滩上也都有人在玩，然后在1996年它就成了奥运会正式的比赛项目。Mike 老师刚刚有讲到这个奥运奖牌，我们就补充一下。Gold medal 就是金牌 ，Silver medal 是银牌。Bronze medal 就是铜牌。好，那课文接着提到说，沙滩排球的发展部分要归功于它容易进行，它不需要昂贵的装备，只需要一颗球和一张网，然后找到一片沙滩，你就可以开始打了。那么沙滩排球的吸引力不只是方便而已，由于举行比赛的环境通常很美，然后运动员的技能又令人赞叹，所以它也是一项非常好看的运动哦。好，单字 convenience 它表示方便、便利是名词 ，surroundings 它表示周围环境，那注意它固定用复数形。Athlete 它表示运动员或是擅长运动的人。好，那它的形容词呢是 athletic。Athletic 是形容运动的、运动员的或是身体健壮的。老师们最后有提到这个 bumping 击球 setting 拖球还有 spiking 杀球等等，我们补充一下 spike 这个动词 S-P-I-K-E， 那 spike 可以指排球运动当中这个扣球杀球这个扣或是杀的动作。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。 好，这边我们来比较 due to 和 thanks to。首先，先看到它们相同之处。第一个相同处是，它们都是片语介系词，后面要接名词或动名词。那第二个相同处是，它们是用来说明原因，表达因为由于。那么 thanks to 后面常常是接正面的原因。再看到不同的地方是 due to， 它可以摆在 be 动词的后面做补语用。来看两个例句 ：Their failure was partly due to bad luck。他们的失败有部分是因为运气差。那另外一个例句是 Thanks to your help, I was able to solve the problem successfully。由于你的帮忙，我才能顺利的解决问题。好，那以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
From humble beginnings on the shores of Hawaii, beach volleyball has become a global phenomenon, bringing people from around the world together for fun, competition, and vitamin C. But just how did it become so popular? In 1915, 20 years after volleyball was invented, George David Center decided to move the game to Hawaii's famous Waikiki Beach. This new version of the sport quickly caught on and spread to the sunny beaches of Santa Monica, California. There, beach volleyball clubs sprang up, and formal tournaments began to take place, attracting competitors and fans from far and wide. Before long, the sun-soaked sport was being played on beaches from Brazil to Bali, and in 1996, it became an official Olympic event. Beach volleyball's growth was partly due to its accessibility. Unlike most sports, it requires no expensive equipment. Just grab a ball and a net, find a beach, and you're good to go. But there's more to its appeal than just convenience. It's also a great sport to watch, thanks to the often beautiful surroundings it takes place in, as well as the impressive skills of the athletes.
Hey, 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 it's KiWi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie.
And today we are going to work on some translations.
Hi.
That's not very nice. Usually, if we need to excuse ourselves to pick up a phone call, there are more polite ways to do it instead of just walking off.
Ooh, sorry, wrong number.
Well, especially if it's a wrong number. Today, we are going to learn how to translate to be polite to excuse ourselves.
Sorry. Okay, we have dun 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 dun.
借过一下.
Just excuse me.
Excuse me?
Excuse me, yeah, or please step aside. Very good.
不好意思，请问这台公车会到火车站吗？
Is this bus ahead to this train station?
Okay, excuse me, is this bus headed to the train station?
Yes.
Yeah, very good.
Excuse me, will this train reach the train station?
Will this train reach the train
Will
station?
this train get to the train station?
不好意思，请问这台公车会到火车站吗？
Oh, okay, sorry. Excuse me, can I ask if this bus will take me to the train station?
Very good. Or, excuse me, does this bus go to the train station? All right, so what did we learn today? For today's translations, we learned how to excuse ourselves from different situations. The first one is, excuse me. Or you can say, pardon me, can you let me pass? The next one is, excuse me, does this bus go to the train station? You can also say, pardon me, can this bus take me to the train station? And these are our translations for today. KiWi later!